With property values falling, how do you see the county making up the shortfall?
With property values falling, about the only thing the county can do is to cut the budget. You know, where we are right now is, 24 mils, a little bit better than that. And that's about what, it's kind of hard, there's a trade-off there. At some point, your millage rate gets to be so much that you're going to choke off economic development. And I don't know that it can be raised very much more. I think that it's a matter of cuts, not trying to raise taxes or fees or anything like that.
Well, I did see, I believe it was last week, that the appraiser came out that property values only dropped about 2% or so versus I believe it was 8% the year before. So we're only looking at realistically a 2% drop, which hopefully that's something we'll be able to do. The county will look at in reducing the budget up from that aspect, not necessarily doing the rollback rate, but if there's potential, I'd like to see us be able to cover that 2% and, again, streamlining a little bit more efficiencies, potentially looking at overhead costs and reducing those.
Well, that relates somewhat to the question just previously. We need to have, in a business you can only have two things to increase your profit, or in a case, and that is either increase income or decrease expenditures. And what I think that we need to do is we need to look at bringing more businesses in, which creates more jobs, which is again going to, like I said in the previous question, it's going to cause more income coming into the county because of services that the businesses use, the people they generate in jobs, which is going to cause more taxes increase and all. So what we need to do is we need to make our county again more friendly, the same as I said just previously, because that's going to bring in more income. Now, yeah, we can look at the expense side a little bit, but primarily we need to look at the income side.
There have been recent allegations of the county violating the sunshine laws, i.e. ECHO. What will you do to ensure that the county is more transparent?
Well, as somebody that is on the ECHO board, actually, one of the things that I was very outspoken with in the last meeting or two was getting all of the applications online. I think it's important that the public's able to have access to any sort of application, whether it's grant money or things along those lines. And I think potentially the quickest and easiest way to get, if you will, the sunshine spotlight onto what's going on in the government is to put as much information as we can online. In today's modern technology, it's easy to get things digital and put it up there. And the old way of requests for information and documents, if everything's up there, we save a lot of time and efficiency so that you don't have to ask for that. And again, it really puts everything out there in the open.
Well, I worked with the county for many years, for probably 20 years, and meeting with county council members, talking with them about various issues, and I know how it should run and how it should not run. The way it should run is you should go in, and the staff should do this too. This is not just for outside lawyers or outside business people. You should go in, meet with a county council person. This is what I plan to do. What do you think? You get, okay, I like this part, I don't like that part. You go to the next one. They tell you, I like this, I don't like that. And what you do is you go back and you assemble it all and you try to come up with something that is a consensus view, something that a majority, if not everybody on the county council will agree with. What you don't do is you don't go in there and say, okay, so-and-so, this councilman said this, do you agree? And you don't do that. You don't try to put together among the council members behind closed doors an agreement on something. You just don't do that. It's not right. Because that turns the meeting into a farce. If you've done that, if you have nailed down all the council members to a particular position before you ever show up, then, why even hold the meeting? It's just, you have these poor county council, you have these poor citizens up there talking to a county council that's already made up its mind. It's just not right. And, typically, in my experience, is county council members don't tell you which way they're going to vote. They don't tell you that. And committing to that, I think is something that you really shouldn't do. You should tell them what your positions are, what you think, and then you need to listen at the meeting and take in the information you get at the meeting because it may be different, and vote your conscience at that point.
Well, that's a fairly easy question. I think the first thing is that we need to as a county commissioner, we need to learn the sunshine law first. I mean, I've been on the PLDRC and have gone to 2 classes with VOCOG. I think that's the first thing. The second thing that we understand is that we need to be completely open and an open mic. If we've got questions, if we got questions of the staff, we need to make sure that we ask them questions that doesn't give any indication of our intent. We also need to make sure that if we do talk to anybody off mic, that we, in the case of the PLDRC, we had an ex parte. We need to let the public know everything we say and do, period. And if you're in doubt, ask staff, legal staff, for how they, to interpret the law. But primarily, if anything you say, make sure that it can't get to another commissioner, that it's completely transparent, open mic. That's my best answer for that.